everyone, it's Legos Running back with a new video, and today I'm going to be showing you my custom Lego Gerudo Fortress from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It comes with 24 minifigures, 5 creatures, coming apart in 9 sections. It's 3 times as big as the last one I made in 2019. It's got a ton of references and Easter eggs across the Zelda series, so yeah, let's get right into this video. Starting out at the bottom layer, you can see the exterior is supposed to be very, very accurate. However, it's not one-to-one scale. This is a minifigure compared to the door, whereas this is a person compared to the door in the actual game. But the interior is basically completely custom, aside from this room, which is supposed to be completely accurate to the many, many rooms. In the game, there was a bunch of rooms like this, and I just decided that's kind of boring. However, you can see the updated brickwork, which is very, very nice in my opinion. It took a lot of time, and this jail cell door removes just like that. And then inside, of course, you have the classic prisoner. This is the next room here, which is kind of a schoolroom for the Gerudo. Obviously, in Breath of the Wild, and there's a class you can attend with the Gerudo where they learn what boyfriends are and how to get boyfriends and stuff like that. You could maybe use this for that. They're studying men, of course. There's a man right there, and so they could be like, you know. So let's learn about boyfriends. There's a man right there, sort of deal. And then inside over here, you can see this is the stairway. Very nice design there. Very, very simple, but it works very well. Some nice boxes. Again, simple, but what works well, which is kind of the stuff that I've been trying to do throughout this build. This is the bathroom. Keep mature comments to yourself. All Gerudo fortresses have to have a bathroom. Now what I just did is spin the whole thing around, so now you can see details like that. And then over here in the bathroom, you get much more details. You can see some, you know, growth here. It's kind of hard to grow in a desert, but when you, I guess they ship in the water from the stream, which runs through Zora the river. And then we got some, obviously, you know what these are. And of course, this strange hand that pops out and is probably asking for toilet paper or something like that. Some more buckets of water to use. This thing, if you know anything about old medieval society, you're going to be disturbed by what this thing is. But we won't comment on that too much. Now another thing I'd like to point out is these walls. This is kind of the newest thing that I've been trying to do with my Lego builds. Actually make the walls cool. And so again, yeah, I was inspired by Egypt and, you know, different cultures trying to create wall designs that really make the rooms nice. Alright, let's move around. You can kind of cut this off into quadrants. This whole area, you have to use this door and this door to access, whereas this whole area is kind of locked between these doors. Now it's kind of like a Zelda dungeon, which is interesting because this is both the biggest Lego Zelda Ocarina of Time build I've made and also not a dungeon, but nonetheless, you could say it's a mini dungeon with the Gerudo training ground, which is right over here. You have to pay to get in, and it's obviously hyper downscaled compared to the actual one. However, there are some accurate things, like this lion right here. That's a lion designed piece, which I got from a Hogwarts set, but it is true to the game. There is a lion creature. That's the door right there. Obviously, this is much bigger than this design, but I wanted to carry over those details. And then of course this wall, I very much like the way it turned out, and these kind of overhangs. It really gives the sort of, you know, Indiana Jones, temple, Egypt, all of those feelings. It gives me some nostalgia to those old Egyptian Lego films, like that one, what was it, Egyptian Holiday?
This guy's a head of lettuce.
We also have a chest, which is accurate to the game. Inside we have the ice arrows, which is obviously what you get in the Gerudo training ground. And you could say this is a section of itself. You have to get through here to get into there. This is the entrance to the next section. These both go to kind of the same hallway type beat. One of the tricks in this is I used so many tan pieces. Obviously the outside is completely tan, and so I have to kind of have every room be a complementary color to tan. Obviously I incorporated a lot of tan pieces. I almost invented a new word there, intercorporated. But then we got a very simple dark blue, which I just think this color scheme is really nice. Now through here we have the bedroom for the Gerudo. This gives them some privacy as they come in. We have one large bed. This was highly inspired based off of the Breath of the Wild bed that the main girl sleeps on. What's her name? Riju. It's Riju's bed, sort of, you know, modified. We have this pillow, which is a very large circle piece, which is kind of off at an angle, kind of like the game, the Breath of the Wild game, and that's kind of the only bed in this bedroom. I suppose the Gerudo women either sleep in shifts or maybe they're just so comfortable they sleep together, but obviously there's a lot of Gerudo in this, and this is not the biggest bed in the world, so I don't know. There's a couch, maybe somebody could sleep on that, and then the Triforce is right here. Now I debated on this because they clearly have their own culture and stuff, but they still do have the one and only Ganondorf at the top of the culture, and so that Ganondorf has the Triforce of Power, so maybe they just worship the Triforce of Power, but still part of the Triforce. I don't exactly know. Anyway, here, that's there. Hopefully it's accurate. We have some very tall shelves with some statues and some bottles and stuff like that. In here we have, again, the other place with one of these pieces, which gives them some privacy to go inside and worship their main god, I guess, the goddess of the sand. Now, of course, we don't actually know if it's supposed to be a goddess that's the goddess of the sand, or maybe it's just a big statue of, a goddess. There's big statues of Gorons in Breath of the Wild, but we don't know if they think of them as gods. Nonetheless, this is a statue of that. It's gold, using some very nice new pieces, like the Hermione gold thing, and then that's Voldemort's torso, the ones from the anniversary thing, and then this, obviously, from Scooby-Doo. Now, you can notice a reference right here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the goddesses, just like in Breath of the Wild, where you can see the statues there. I think there's 7 in total, and there's one missing. That's that one missing, I suppose. And then, of course, we have a pot. There's a lot of pots, although you can't see them because they're kind of hidden here, so if you're on this angle, you can't see it. But there's a lot of pots in this. I kind of ran out of pots just building this. So that's the kind of private area, except for this room right here, which is for the kids. We have 2 cribs right there. It's very nice, very pink, very lush. There's one of the Gerudo girls, the young women there. Very nice. I like that room a lot. Not in a weird way. God, what is this world? What does this word come from? Anyway, there's this hallway leads over here to the only, I guess, shop area here, of nice knickknacks and stuff like that. We got a bunch of weird things. I feel like there was something supposed to be on top of that, but maybe not. And of course, Gerudo manning the station. I very much like this. It's kind of the most chaotic room in the place. That there, very cool. Moving on over here, I gotta say that I do not have the same Jangbrick's calmness as when I'm going through the room. Let me try to mimic some of that on this next room. Right over here. On the back side, then you can see there's a great fairy fountain. Isn't that great? That's tan. You can walk up here and you can play the melody from Zelda's Lullaby. And the goddess that's not right. The great fairy comes out and grants you something. This is a reference to the Great Fairy Fountain that you can find in the Great Gerudo Colossus area. Desert Colossus. That's tan. Alright. I wasn't very good at that. Maybe I could do better at some point. Here's the whole backside, kind of looking that direction. I'm hoping to finish that off at some point. And there is a way to enter through this area. This whole wall removes. You can sneak in. It's like a dream. You can just walk right in and it's right there. Anyway, this is the way up. This is one of the ways up. There's some, cans and stuff like that. What's in here? Oh, it's one of my old stickered shields. Mirror shield. Great. Using the old texture of the Gerudo symbol. That's a ladder up, and then there's a staircase over here. This is the whole bottom layer. Let's move to the next layer. Alright, on to the second layer. The way that you enter is through these staircases. That's one of the ways. And then this goes to this room right here. Here is the section, and you can see all of the little tiles on the floor, which both help kind of keep this place together. As you can see, it's sort of cracking in places. And then the other function, of course, is just it looks nice. As you can see, this is one of the places I like to keep my iron knuckle, just because it kind of gives that vibe. You can see these things crossed right there. And all of the detailing here. It's one of the more kind of boring rooms just because there isn't like an extra crazy color. It's all just gray, black, and then of course tan. But nonetheless, I think it's cohesive and it's a very liminal space, as you can say. There's a jail cell that goes there. You'll see that in a bit. And then there's a staircase right up here. As you can see, I'm just flexing for Lego Match X or somebody else. And then of course a torch. I love keeping the torches in places. Just give it the little dimples on on the build. That's such a weird way to say it. And of course, there's a ladder which leads up there. And now going through here, you can look over this area, but you can't actually access it unless you want to jump down. This is the wine area because, of course, they're all women. That means they're all wine moms. This is a fact. Shigeru Miyamoto's confirmed it. It's true. And so you can see this winery area. You got some grapes or whatever vine you want to use. Some scissors right there, and a nice Gerudo woman looking at, I guess that's a map, or maybe a map of places to get wine, I don't know. And then of course you can keep their wine there. You can keep your wine around here where there's some more shelving. And I like this area a lot. It's sort of, usually the wine area would be in the bottom of the house, like, you know, where it's moist and damp and everything. I guess those are synonyms, sort of. But it's not. It's obviously on the second layer. Maybe in here they keep water or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard to make wine in the desert, but they desperately need it. And then, of course, you got a plate there. And then across from that, you've got this area, which you can access via this ladder. This is the food court of the Gerudo Fortress. Now, it's sort of accurate because there is like a boiling pot that you can actually fall in the game, and you can die, and I've died in it before because it's kind of hard to get out, especially on the N64 version. But in this area, I really like it. It seems kind of Italian, as you can see with all of the design work there. You've got a Friends girl serving, just because I feel like, you know, Is it sexist to say that the Friends women just seem like they would be good at making food? You got the line forming right here. This is not exactly a Gerudo, but pretty much is. And then behind her, of course, you know, just some random dude who's in line. And then, of course, you got over here the original N64 version of the symbol for the Gerudo, which I prefer because I prefer the initial version of the, you know, Ocarina of Time with all the blood and everything. You've got Naburo sitting here just waiting for her meal to get ordered. I imagine when the meal's done, then they place it right there. And then, of course, a nice giant chicken that's just there. Very nice. Maybe that's a turkey. I don't know. Speaking of chicken, there's some chicken right here. Sorry, speaking of cuckoos, I'm so sorry. You got some cuckoos right here. This is where I keep the cuckoos that I have that aren't white. These are just the dark tan versions. And you got a little ladder up here where you can kind of walk up here, grab them, throw them in there. You know, very nice natural stuff. And then of course you gotta clean it because it's gotta follow the safety procedures of Hyrule. And then of course. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I don't need to explain it too much. There's some lettuce right here. It's very nice. I really like this area. It just seems very calming. Now, along this side, you can see the vines. This is the first place you'll see the vines. They're different from the vines that I used in the last version of the Gerudo Fortress. They got a little bit more detail. They're not bright green, which was a bit of a strange choice back then, but you know, those were the choices that people made back then. All right, let's go on to the next layer. All right, this is the third layer up. Now, how are you going to access any of these rooms? Well, let's start over here. Obviously, there's a ladder that you saw last time. I hope it's obvious. And up here, you have the training area. Now, this is a place, I'm just going to remove it. This appears in a lot of games, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword. This is the place where you kind of learn your skills, right? And so you can enter here. This is kind of the waiting room, I imagine, kind of inspired by, you know, martial arts studios. There's often like a place where you can kind of sit and chill. There aren't any seats here, but you can chill at least. This is a design right here you might recognize from the Gerudo training ground. It's a thing you smash with the Megaton hammer. Across here we have some things you can train with, you know, a whip, an axe, etc. There's a little pot there. And inside of this chest, I honestly don't know what it is, so let's find out. Oh, and it's falling apart now. And it is, gosh. Okay, yeah, so it's boomerangs. That's cool. Yeah, so that's something you can train with. Very canonical to the game. And then on the other side here, we just got some bottles. This might be a reference to the Hyrule Castle build I made. And if you know what that was a reference to, then you'll know what that is. But anyway, these are some more of those same statues. Across here, we have this piece, which is amazing. It's from a Hogwarts moment. And it is something that you can find in Skyward Sword. It just seems such like a Zelda thing, and so I've been dying to include that in some Zelda build, and I'm happy that it is here now. We have Skyward Sword Link trying to get his bearings on the motion controls. Unfortunately for him, he never will. We have a mirror. Obviously, you know, they love mirrors with the Gerudo, you know, mirror shield, etc. Inside here, we have a bat. or should I say a keys, and let's just keep that in there. We have a place to shoot targets. Very nice. I like the way this turned out. And then on this side we have that head, which I ordered just because it seemed like something that would be in Zelda. You could say it's a Korok mask or just some mask or something. It's just, I like it. This obviously from Pharaoh's Quest, that's what it's called. Snakes, they love snakes. This is obviously a reference to the snakes that they love with the Gerudo. And a bow, they love shooting bows, and they love shooting them at targets. As you can tell from, the horse thing that you can find. You can cut that is wood. That's kind of what it's for. You can cut the wood, you can move it to the side, and, just fight. It's a very nice little arena area. They gotta learn. This is how they learn. That goes up there, and okay, so that's how you access that. Now, how do you access this area over here? Well, very simple actually. So you got your Link. He's walking here. Now, unfortunately, he does have to jump. And then at some point you gotta jump if you want to explore this territory. You climb up the vines, and boom, there you are. There you have it. So over here, this is one of the darkest parts of the fortress, the museum. So you enter the museum, and you got some big banners hanging down, and you've got a nice red carpet. This floor area, the red carpet mixed with the blue floor, is inspired by the bottom of Ganon's tower from Ocarina of Time. These are the things you'd find in the museum. You've got a very powerful hourglass, and a big key, a very nice gold key, a important mask from Majora's Mask, and you've got this, which may look like a magnifying glass, much like the magnifying glasses right over there, but perhaps these are all the lenses of truth. This lightsaber bottom is actually from the game that I played once in my Lego City, where Ganondorf and all of the characters had different lightsabers. Over here we have the fire rod, which is a very nice build in my opinion. And then of course here, which is Mipha's staff from my Mipha build all those years ago. Maybe that's one of the previous kings of Gerudo, I don't know. And of course this, which is the Triforce of Power. Not ephemeral, it's just a physical thing. It's like the Triforce of Wisdom from the Zelda cartoon. If you've seen a lot of my videos, there's one of these here, there's one of these in the Ganon's Tower, there's one of these in the castle, the Hyrule Castle. So, you got three Triforces, sort of. Okay. Now, if you go down the stairs, then the rug continues, and you go around here, which is a very nice place. Again, these are all sort of made-up things. You can remove this whole wall, which, by the way, these are all masks, and they are different masks, sort of referencing different things. Obviously, you can probably tell one of them and what it's referencing, but, oh, it fell. When you're going down the stairs, it looks really nice, in my opinion. It looks very evil-looking. Not that it is evil, but it just looks evil. Anyway, Ganondorf walks down these steps, and you've got some banners hanging down, some dark, evil-looking torches, and what is this? Oh, it's an organ. Of course it's an organ. So, Ganondorf plays the organ in Ocarina of Time, and he doesn't do it too badly. He doesn't do it amazingly, but he doesn't do it too badly, and so I imagine he practices sometimes in Gerudo Fortress. So this is kind of Ganondorf's little area, and we've got the horns, the classic horns, which you could find in Gerudo Fortress all over the place, and a door which leads into the darkest place in the Gerudo Fortress. You come through these doors and you enter the Gerudo Torture Chamber. Now, obviously, you can find in the Shadow Temple where Hyrule's Bloody History of Greed and Hatred is localized. But this is where the Gerudo Bloody History of Greed and Hatred is localized, because war usually hurts both sides. And so you got on the tops, you got some bags hanging down. I imagine they might be full of something, or they might just be sandbags, although I don't know why they need sandbags, although there's a lot of sand in Gerudo Fortress, so that sort of makes sense. But anyway, none of that is very important. Down here, we got some blood coming down from this, which is just stolen from the bottom of the well. Here, we also have another thing this is stolen from the Shadow Temple, which is a guillotine. It does sort of work. So if you have it like this, then, the cord is wrapped around here, and it works kind of like this, and you just unwrap the cord like that, and then you can let it down like that. Okay, it's not great. If you're out there and you want to make a better one, I will probably put it in this area. If you can send it to me, send the design to me, and if it is just as small as this. Right, so that's placed right there. In the back, we've got some rock work, because it is in a mountain. I mean, in the game, it's in the mountain, and so there's some rocks in the game and stuff like that. So I imagine it's accurate. Now, whether or not you've noticed, there is a jail cell right here, which there is a door for it as well, using that tooth piece as a handle. That's the door. It doesn't open, much like the door that's right around here. They don't open or move or anything like that, which is kind of unfortunate, but they look really nice, which I like. And then over here there's another cell, although this one doesn't have a door, so maybe they just use the fear and intimidation of a little torture chamber right next to it as kind of motivation to stay in the cell. And so in that cell right here, this can be taken out, and that's kind of revealing the fact that you can actually see the cell around this corner. This is where it was before, and this cell just slides right into place. Just some friction holding it in place. You can see the cell right in there, and that is the cell. It's a very nice little area. This is obviously where another one of these people are kept prisoner, and someone else is also kept prisoner, maybe too long. It comes right out. Very simple little design, using some brickwork right there, which I like a lot, and this floor work, and then of course a little thing right there. I don't exactly know what these would be used for. These kind of look like drains, but I don't exactly know what's being drained in a desert. But anyway, we can just take that out, and that reveals that little area. And this is the other cell. Another person's kept prisoner, again, for a little bit too long, and that looks like a Hyrule soldier type guy who's there, unfortunate. And some more rock work there. Very interesting stuff done right there. You can see it is cracked, sort of, or maybe that's just part of the rock design, as you can see more of there. So that's the medieval torture chamber. That's the organ room. This might be an organ donating room, although not voluntarily. And that's the museum and the training room and one more layer. Whoa, I always wanted to do that. Okay, so the last layer, the rest is all kind of nice and secure. We're just gonna flip this whole thing around. Alright, and this gives you the reverse side, and so most of this is all finished off. Unfortunately, I didn't notice until I was kind of done that this is dark tan and not tan. I'm hoping to make this whole thing tan at some point in the future, except for maybe some spots where you can see through to the other side, such as this back piece. Now, this thing just comes off very simple. This is one of the simplest parts of the whole build, but it's also honestly one of my favorites, just because the color scheme is so good, which is something I'm so focused on in this build, is just making color scheme look good, because if the color scheme looks good, everything looks good, and I can prove that just by referencing Hylian bricks. Just go to Hylian bricks, you enter right through here, now you get onto this side and you get some big pillars, very nice, I love the pillars, and that was inspired by a build I saw online of, Egyptian stuff, because that's kind of the way that I got my inspiration. And this, you can see, it kind of actually goes up, and the reason for that is because if it didn't, then it would run into the issue of this thing right here, and so thankfully it fits beautifully. Just look at that. That runs up pretty close. Now, the question is, how do you enter this area? Because if you look at it logically, then how would you get up there? Well, that's a good question. And my explanation is magic? Is that good? No? Okay, well, I tried. No, but this is a reference to the potion shop in Ocarina of Time, where that girl who plays Granny in Majora's Mask and has that tiger cub, it's a reference to that. That's kind of what it is. Now, it's not precisely that, however, it's very inspired by that. And so I imagine this is where, similar to the potion person, there's somebody who has potions in Majora's Mask, and that person is Kome and Kotake. And so I imagine this is Kome and Kotake's little area in the Gerudo Fortress, and so obviously they can fly, and so magic. Now, inside, you can see you go up there, and then you're on this very nice, tiled surface with a very nice rug and a lot of very nice pillars. And then there's just a bunch of stuff. We got another bottle. We got a lot of bottles of all different shapes and sizes. We got, maybe they used magic on a cuckoo and now it's frozen in solid carbonite. I don't know. And you got this chain thing, which I believe is accurate to the potion shop area. Some nice drapes hanging down from the ceiling. In here we got some Moon Knight pieces, some beetle pieces from Moon Knight, some honey with some more pots, a wizard. I know, a man. That's crazy. But you know, you gotta have kids somehow. I really like this room. It's a lot, but it's nice. Snakes there, of course. It's not the only English in this area, which English is not in Zelda really at all. Although, correct me on that if I'm wrong. So yeah, that's the top layer. That is the top layer. There's a chest right on this side, just like there's in the game. And oh, it looks like nobody's gotten the heart piece that's inside. Very nice. Good work, everybody. But aside from that, then let's go on to the next section. And that next section doesn't exist. So that is the last section. So final thoughts on the build before I move on to the minifigures. I like it. Starting out with the Gerudo themselves, we've got a lot of them in this set. Thankfully, this is a Gerudo themed whole thing, so that's them. Let's just start off with the more basic Gerudos. The one that waits right there is right here. That's the Gerudo. Cho Chang's head, hairpiece from some old series, red. Luke used that hairpiece, but not in red at some point. And that's the torso from this woman right here from the Lego Disney Minifigures Series 2. I forgot her name. I don't know her name. I'm so sorry. And then just some simple pants to try to mimic the color scheme. And then, of course, the even more basic Gerudo, the massable army builder Gerudo, which these are just amazing. I mean, the initial version I had, all the way back from my modular custom Lego Gerudo Fortress set from 2016, they don't hold a freaking blue candle to this. I mean, look at that. The torso is from Starfire, a minifigure from a pretty large set, actually, Joker's like Funhouse type thing, but they're actually not too expensive. The torso is not too expensive, and so I bought, what, 4 or 5 of them, and I mean, they were worth every penny. I mean, look at them. I cannot tell you, like, just how happy I was when I was searching Bricklink, scouring for different pieces, and found these. Not in a weird way. God, what is this world? And then this bandana piece, too, which is amazing. It's from the character Ultraviolet from Ninjago 2018 sets, and then this hairpiece, which is from Skylar, also from Ninjago. They just take the cake as one of the most accurate, most awesome looking minifigures from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I'm so happy to have, and that's just amazing. And then these heads just come from all over the place. That one's Cho Chang. There's a lot of Cho Chang in here. This one is from that one's from this minifigure right here. And then this one is from Master Builders Society. That's not what it's called. Minifigure builder, a cat thing.
It has a Star Wars head.
Star Wars. It's from a Star Wars minifigure. We've got these two, which are supposed to be the women that you fight. This one has 2 swords from the Lego Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean series, and so thankfully, my family got 2 of them when we were young. So now she has 2 of the swords. They got the gold trimmings. Obviously, this one's more similar to this one, however, a little bit different because they got the gold, which is accurate again. And also, this is using a head from the Harry Potter series. They're the ones that went on the date with Harry and Ron in the Yule Ball, and so we've got a lot of these. I ordered some of these, and they've got this dot at the top of the head, and this is a torso from the Lego movie. One of the characters from the CMF series was a robot who was in cowboy uniform, and so that works pretty well because that is the silver, and that silver sort of matches the swords, and so that's very nice. Last classical Gerudo woman here is not too classical. It's actually a sage. This is the Sage of Spirit, Naburu. Okay, and so she's got the medallion of the Spirit Temple. I mean, it's an amalgamation of a lot of pieces that have already been used, except for the white legs, I guess, but that's not too special. But it looks good enough. Okay, moving that aside. Okay, so the last Gerudo people, they're very special though, are, the weird ones, the Twin Rova, the witches. I don't think they're amazing. They haven't changed a lot since their beginnings. The nose is very important, so you've got that sort of represented. Okay, I don't like hiding prints. I don't like doing that. I don't like hiding it behind a cape and saying, oh, it's not there. I just don't. It looks weird. Also, I really like the more firm cape design. However, it goes too long. And so every time I set it down, it tries to bounce up, or it's just, you know, breaking the piece to some degree, like it's bending it, and so I don't like that either. Maybe a spongier cape would have been nicer for this. Then the brick built head, just, it looks strange and it's not perfect, and the gray showing through, and the eyes that just look googly. And then even honestly, to some degree, just the fact that she can't actually, like, because they're short legs, she can't actually like put herself on it. She just kind of stands on it, you know. I don't like that either. I just don't like these very much. They make me uncomfortable. Okay, now to some things I do like. Ganondorf. This is the custom version. This is not an official version of Ganondorf from this game or from really any game. Like, this is like the Stoner Ganondorf. This is the Big Lebowski Ganondorf. These are both different versions of Frankenstein's monster's head. This is like the Frankenstein's monster, but guitarist man, the rock star Frankenstein. This is a more classical Frankenstein. These are the same arms as the more standard Ganondorf from Syndrome, from the Lego Disney Minifigure Series 1. This torso is from the Pick-a-Brick Wall, legs are from the Pick-a-Brick Wall, and this is just a very simple pauldron that you can find on, you know, Captain's, like, I think Captain Brickbeard uses it. And then nice big red beard right here, very weird ugly looking beard from a dwarf minifigure from a CMF series, and I always thought, well, that could be used for Ganondorf, but you know, in Ocarina of Time he really doesn't have a beard like that, unless he grew it out, unless he's like 3 days non-shaven, and that's what he's wearing, which I guess that's what he's wearing. So that's chilling out Ganondorf that I built specifically just to keep in the Gerudo Fortress, and so that's what I will do forever. This is the chill normal Ganondorf, which you've seen many times if you've seen some of my recent videos. The only update is this hairpiece. That's Ganondorf. Great. He's the king of this area, so he's here. This is one of them that is kind of custom. It's not like this is supposed to be a specific Gerudo person in the games, but I used these legs, which I initially bought for Impa from Ocarina of Time, but the skin tone didn't match precisely. These legs do go with this torso. And then this hair, which comes from a lot of old, you know, between 1990, 2002 type sets. Breezeway Cafe is just one of them. Very nice hairpiece. Not too expensive, again, not too expensive. Very nice hairpiece, very versatile, although there are maybe perhaps better alternatives, such as this hairpiece, which comes from Sirius Black's, you know, house. It is used as an extra alternative for Tonks. The other custom woman who is not inspired by any other person is actually not a woman, it's a girl. She's got a knife because, you know, these are warrior women, so they gotta train early on with a knife and gotta stay safe. So that's that. This is also one I've already kind of talked about. Obviously, this is a place which is for women, basically only. So I imagine, you know, the whole Friends line, right, all about women, basically, should be represented here. So there's that. That's the Gerudo people right there, a lot of them. Let's move on first just to Link and his accessories. Starting out with Link, here's Link. I don't think he's changed very much. This is from the Vikings thing, Vikings Way series from Lego. This is from the Pick-a-Brick Wall, the shield. Those are the awesome accessories. The rest of the accessories suck, but no, that's not true. Okay, so Link, go to my previous videos to find out more. I might have not been using this cloth piece. If not, that's from a Lego Looney Tunes series character. This is young Link. He should be the same as well from the Hyrule Castle build I made, so I'm not going to talk too much about him here. Let's move on to the accessories. Okay, accessory time. So, the hover boots. I don't know if I've covered that before, but I will. So it's very simple, you put them on. This is from the Lego Batgirl from, I believe, the big Joker's Mansion set. It's very nice because the buckles look kind of like the wings, and so that's very nice. They're gold, obviously, they got the white thing. Perfect. And you do have to use them, I believe, in order to cross this gap here. I believe that's accurate. You have to use them. Yeah, if not, you can't do it. Okay, so that's that. And then what else? Well, we've got the bow, which you can use on the horse, Epona, and this, which is a more accurate Lens of Truth, very nice design. A boomerang, the Ocarina of Time, a very simple build, not from me. This just says keep, and it's from the Lego Movie, one of the small cowboy sets. Now I just use that as the waiver that they give to Link once he obtains citizenship as somebody who can enter Gerudo Valley. These are the Iron Gauntlets, which you get at the Spirit Temple, and so there's that right there. Boom. Aside from one more, which is the Mirror Shield, you can find him. He's one of the more recent CMFs. The next character is the wonderful, perfect design for the one and only Sheik. Sheik obviously shows up at the Desert Colossus, and so she's here. He or she is here, depending on the beliefs that you understand of him. This is the harp that Sheik uses, and this is from Moon Knight, actually. It used to be this one, which is just a more basic one, and then, of course, this knife, which you can see her or him using in one of the posters. It's a piece that you can find in the Jungle's Lego City sets. So that's Sheik. The other minifigures are here. Now, most of these are just Carpenters, the Carpenter brother family, whatever you want to call it. I think I got almost all of them, or maybe all of them here. Torsos are from Pirates sets, old Pirates sets. This torso is probably more accurate, and it's from a pig character from a Lego Looney Tunes series. It's accurate because it's got the blue, and then it's got sort of the naked skin tone underneath. It's inaccurate because it's got a bow tie, and it's got a pig tail. So it's very accurate, actually. And the legs are from the Lego Ninjago movie, just some random passerby character. This head is from the old J. Jonah Jameson, I believe. And then these heads are, two of them are from a character from the Lego Harry Potter CMF, the first one, from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And this head is from a soldier character from Hoth, the Hoth Battle Pack, the older one. And you've got Frodo's hair and a big afro hair, and then this is Mutt's hair, and so those are the hairs, and then some just different colored pants to be accurate. This is the character who's actually a very recent minifigure who I just recently built, like within the past week, who is the carpet merchant. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a carpet. The torso is from Reggae Man Batman. The head is from the character. It's either Doran Oy, Oin Gloin, Dwalin Balin, Biffy, Brofer, Bomber, Feely Keely. In one of those. And this hair piece is from Wonder Woman. Okay, those are the minifigures besides this, who is a Gipto, just a mummy character from the Lego Monster Fighter series. Maybe I'll change the head because this head shows the mouth, and in Ocarina of Time the mouth is not shown. Glow in the dark, though. That's pretty cool. There's also this great fairy who has Poison Ivy's torso and legs, and the head from Elsa, and the hairpiece from a dancer who was either from the Lego Movie 2 CMF or from just a random CMF dancer person. Alright, so the last thing I'd like to discuss with you is all of the creatures. You've got, 3, 4, 5 in this set, and so starting out, we're just going to start with the simpler ones, which is the horses. This is Epona, and this is Ganondorf's horse, which you can see at various points in the game. Epona is made, this is just a horse who's actually from a very recent 2022 or 2021 horse stable set. It's amazing that they made this in the right color of dark orange. However, maybe a redder color would be more accurate. I'm actually not entirely sure. This is the game right here. This is the horse. This horse just looks a little bit different than that. Then you've got Ganondorf's horse, which is just a horse from Lord of the Rings series, came with a ring wraith. And then these are the brick built ones, which I think at various points I've already gone over in my channel's history. However, they've all been updated drastically. So with the Iron Knuckle, I'll give you a link in the description to the video I made on this back in the day, and then you can just see the sort of superficial changes on the surface. Unfortunately, an actual Gerudo cannot fit in it. This is the Kaepora, which you see at the very last time in the Desert Colossus when you return as a child. This is Kaepora. His head spins. Again, link in the description to the last video I made on him. You can see all of the differences, hopefully, on the surface. Here, these legs are a different color than last time to stand out more. These wings can actually flap in a very natural way instead of just, the weird way that it happened before. The head can spin in a very natural, simple way. You don't have to take it apart. It's just like that. Very simple piece right there. And I love the spinning function. It looks nice. The design of the face is basically completely different. Its beak looks better, I think. And all of that looks better. I love it. I love this guy. He's big and fat, and he takes up time, but he takes up time with a beautiful soundtrack. And so, you know what? So much of life is just taking up time with a beautiful soundtrack. So Don't be annoyed by him. This is the Poe that gives you the way through the desert. This guy's kind of the reason that I gave Link the Lens of Truth, because you're gonna need it in order to spot this guy in the Gerudo desert, the Gerudo wasteland. It's quite simple. You can replicate it if you want. You got the lantern and all. This is a simple Poe if you just want to look at that for no particular reason. The back is bad. Again, I hate hiding printing, so we'll move on to the end. Well, in about a year, we don't even know what's going to happen, and that's always been true. However, it's also true now, especially in the relation to LEGO Legend of Zelda. I may become rendered irrelevant. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be a $400 set just like this. A lot can happen in a year, and so I will see you then. And go in the description and watch the podcast of time, which is me, Beagle Bricks, and Hylian Bricks. We are all on Instagram, and so you can come visit us then if you so choose, and talk more about LEGO Legend of Zelda, which has been my passion since I was 10 years old, I guess. And so, yeah. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Also, if you have any comments or questions at all, please leave them all in the comments section below, and I will see you guys next time.